Brothers and sisters, I don't know what this world is coming to.
Yeah, hey yo, I'm highly motivated. I failed my indoctrination. We killing each other, that's the real self-hatred. Find out what you're chasing. Is it the money or the cops trying to take my soul from me? I cut from a certain cloth, I don't cop, please. I just bring the light to the unseen. Black people unite, we should all be one regime. Plotting against the system, planning a scheme. They took our American dream. You put your fist in the air, they call you extreme. I do the knowledge, you can call me supreme. It runs through my bloodstream. And nowadays, niggas a shooter for funeral. Like damn, that's what being a savage do to you? You dumb fools? Come on, man. You killed once, now you gotta kill again? That shit make me sick to my ribs. You niggas with no aim, out here killing these kids. And forever, they memories live. It's like our brothers and sisters that's killed by the pigs. It's the game of life, and this shit is just rigged. Yeah, it's the game of life. Now let that sit in your wig. We should be looking out for one another, but we move around in deep cover. It's time to rediscover the love we got for each other. I wanna see my people make millions. Visions of black brilliance. Watch for the ones with scales like they reptilians. Cause the power was always in my people. You can protest peaceful until you see Breonna Taylor the sequel. Come on, man. Y'all know what it is, man. It's your boy, Drake Cobbs, man. Bringing you the enemy's public, man. By the people, for the people. Let's go. The enemy's public, let's go, man. We here.
Peace. This is the enemy's public, and I am Bro.Nasir. Peace to my brother, Bronze Flat Power God. Milestone Thoughts. Salute to you. Thank you for joining me this evening. On this day during Black History Month, I'd like to pay homage to Black inventors, those who wanted to make our lives easier and wanted to give us essential items to suffice us as a people, mostly by necessity. For example, Garrett Morgan invented the 3-light traffic light in 1923. Dr. Charles Drew discovered how to store blood plasma, which led to the creation of blood banks. Mary Van Britten invented early home security systems. So if you have cameras around your house, just know that a sister invented the home security system. Thomas Jennings invented the dry scouring process that was the precursor to dry cleaning. Frederick McKinley Jones invented the automatic refrigerator equipment. Patricia Bath invented a laser cataract treatment device called laser phaco probe in 1986. George Washington Carver invented crop rotation and found over 300, the crop rotation and found over 300 uses for the, forgot what it's called, for the, not the peanut, that's George Washington Carver, but he invented the rototiller. So when people are turning their ground up so they can plant, just know that George Washington Carver invented the rotation device and found over 300 uses for the peanut. Dr. John Harvey Kellogg stole the patent for peanut butter from George Washington Carver. Lewis Madimer invented the original light bulb that was stolen by Thomas Edison. Granville Taylor held more than 50 patents in the United States. He was the first Black American mechanical engineer and electrical engineer after the Civil War. He was self-taught. He concentrated most of his work on trains and streetcars. And he invented the multiplex telegraphony, the egg incubator, phonographs, and I believe telephones, to name a few. He even invented the automatic brakes. You see, our people are great. These inventions shows our greatness. Yet we are too trusting. We trust people by showing them our patents, and so many patents have been stolen from our people. You know, we get excited about our ideas, and we show them to other people. Now, I forgot the brother's name, but I believe his last name was McCoy. He invented the device that oiled the trains to keep the trains running when they stopped using coal for trains. And the original knockoff artist, the thieves among us, tried to duplicate what the brother made, yet they didn't work. So when they tried to put those devices that was that was invented by the brother McCoy, they didn't work right. So the people, when they bought these devices from the knockoff artists, they were asking them, are these the real McCoy? And that's where that term came from, the real McCoy, from the brother who invented the device to or the trains when they stopped using coal to run the trains. Now, I have a video presentation about that's consistent with this topic: Black history, Black American inventors and inventions. Let me share my screen. We can get into this. Now, there's several inventions invented by our people, sisters, who I guess they wanted their hair to be straighter, and they wanted hair products to get dolled up. Madam C.J. Walker, she invented the straightening comb and the hot curling iron, and among other beauty products for sisters. And also, the police probably wouldn't catch as many people as they would have if it wasn't for the invention of the walkie-talkie. The walkie-talkie was invented by one of us also. And also, if it's 1 second, if it's if one of us is hot during the summer, if it's hot during the summer, the air condition was also invented by one of us. Also, the ceiling fan was invented by one of us. There's so many inventions that were invented by our people. Just to name a few. Now, hundreds of patents were stolen from our people. Hundreds. The ones that I named just so happened that, we bought the patents and our brothers and sisters patent the devices, inventions, and they were able to invent these devices and these different. I mean, just imagine Dr. Charles Drew. He, did a whole lot for medicine. The plasma that gave birth to the blood banks. There was one of us that did that.
It seemed like they weren't as smart or talented. In school, we learn about things like the light bulb, electricity, and other important discoveries from inventors like Thomas Edison, Nikola Tesla, Albert Einstein, and Benjamin Franklin. But we don't hear about the incredible invention. Embark on a journey to unearth a legacy that has long been ignored. A series that unveils the untold stories of 100
Could be running us back.
Welcome to the part one of inventors, making it seem like they weren't as smart or talented. In school, discoveries from inventors like Thomas Edison, Nikola Tesla, Albert Einstein, and Benjamin Franklin. But we don't hear about the incredible inventions made by Black inventors. It's time to change that. Today, we embark on a journey to unearth a legacy that has long been ignored. A series that unveils the untold stories of 100 Black inventions that changed the world. These Black inventors, whose names have been shrouded in darkness, refused to let their history hold them back. Their intelligence and resilience propelled them forward, defying the barriers of slavery, discrimination, and racism. In this episode, we're going to share their stories and tell you about the amazing things they invented that changed our lives. Before we get right into the video, please smash the like button and subscribe to the channel so you can catch all the parts in this series and keep informed of our eye-opening Black narrative. Number one.
Peace to my brother, Henry and King Bloodline. Thanks for tapping in. I appreciate it.
100. Three-light traffic light. The three-light traffic signal we see today has greatly improved our safety on the roads, but very few people know that the traffic signal was inspired by the invention of a Black person. The person behind this brilliant invention was Garrett Morgan, an African-American businessman and inventor. He lived in Cleveland, Ohio, and was the first Black person in the city to own a car. In 1922, he witnessed an accident between a horse-drawn carriage and a car.
Just imagine, we invent all these inventions by necessity. Just imagine how chaotic, especially how the highways are built today, if it wasn't for this invention.
Which inspired him to find a way to prevent such accidents in the future. At that time, police officers were responsible for directing traffic, but it was difficult for drivers to see them, and their signals were limited to just stop and go. This made it hard for drivers to navigate through traffic. So Morgan came up with a new idea. He invented a traffic signal that had folding arms with signs that said stop and go. The signal would be placed on a post above the road, making it easier for drivers to see. He also added a third position where the signal could be raised halfway, indicating caution. This was like the modern yellow signal that we see today. To operate the signal, a traffic attendant would turn a crank, raising the post and showing the appropriate sign. If necessary, the attendant could stop all lanes by showing the stop sign. Morgan's invention was patented in 1923, and he sold the rights to General Electric for $40,000. The 1960s were the most dangerous times in American history, and for a Black woman whose husband was always working at odd hours, staying alone in her home at night left Marie Van Britten Brown feeling pretty vulnerable. Unfortunately, their neighborhood had a high crime. In response response to this, Marie came up with the first invention. Consisted of 4 small windows, a movable camera, TV screens, and microphones. The cameras could move from one window to another. These cameras were connected to TV screens inside Marie's home. By using the TV screens, Marie could see who was at her door without actually having to be there physically or open the door. The microphones were also important as they allowed Marie to communicate with the person outside without having to face them directly or open the door. Marie Van Britten Brown's invention of the home security system for further developments and improvements in security systems that are still used today. Number 98, folding bed. In 1885, African-American inventor Sarah Good would create one of the most famous inventions designed for maximum comfort. Her patented folding bed would inspire the modern-day Murphy bed. Being a furniture store owner, she saw a business opportunity and made an audacious commitment. She wanted to help. She invented a bed that could fold up and be hidden, similar to the Murphy bed we know today. It was like a cabinet that could turn into a desk, with spaces for writing supplies. Sarah's goal was to make the bed easy to lift and keep in place when folded, and to provide extra support in the middle when unfolded. In 1885, Sarah Good became one of the number 97, protective mailbox. In October 27, 1891, Philip B. Downing was granted a patent that changed the mail system forever. That patent was for a street letterbox, essentially the mailbox we see all around the country, where you can post a letter any time of day. In the early 1800s, U.S. citizens posted and received their mail via a post office. People would need to travel far distances to visit their local post office for their mailing needs. So there was a need for a better, more convenient solution. Downing designed the mailbox that we all recognize today, a metal box with 4 legs. This invention changed the need to go to the post office in order to mail a letter. It included a hinged door that kept bad weather such as rain and snow from damaging the mail, and also a safety feature making the mail secure until it is picked up by postal employees. The Downing letterbox patent. Blood banks. It's impossible to determine how many hundreds of thousands of people would have lost their lives without the contributions of African-American inventor Dr. Charles Drew. This physician leading to the invention of blood banks. During World War II, there was a great need for blood transfusions due to the large number of casualties, but there were challenges in transporting and preserving blood for long periods. Recognizing this problem, Drew focused his research on finding a solution. He developed a method to store and preserve plasma, which is a vital component of blood, separately from whole blood. This allowed plasma to be stored for longer periods without losing its life-saving properties. He also came up with the idea of blood banking, which involves collecting, testing, and storing blood so it can be used for transfusions when needed. Drew's work, but also paved the way for advancements in blood transfusion techniques. His ideas and innovations laid the foundation for the modern blood banking systems. In the world of modern transportation and logistics, refrigerated trucks play a vital role in ensuring the safe and efficient delivery of perishable goods. Behind this groundbreaking invention stands an extraordinary mind, that of Frederick McKinley Jones, an African-American inventor whose innovative spirit transformed the way we transport and preserve temperature-sensitive items. In the late 1930s, Jones was approached by Joseph A. Numero to transport perishable items like food and medicine without them spoiling during long trips. Recognizing Jones's skills,
It's just like us to invent something like this. You know, we wouldn't have none of the essential items like the fruits, the vegetables, the ice cream, the ice, if it wasn't for this brother.
Numero asked for his help. Jones took on the challenge and came up with an ingenious solution, a portable cooling system that could be added to existing trucks. This transformed ordinary trucks into refrigerated vehicles, allowing perishable goods to be transported over long distances while keeping them fresh. Jones's invention had a significant impact on various industries, including food, pharmaceuticals, and healthcare. It made global trade easier by enabling the transportation of perishable goods to faraway markets. Number 94, automatic elevator doors. On the 11th of October, 1887, a highly skilled barber, inventor, and businessman named Alexander Miles received a patent for a technology that would revolutionize the way we use high-rise buildings forever. His invention? Automatic elevator doors. Though a seemingly small milestone in the history of technology, his innovative design made the use of elevators infinitely easier and safer, earning him a spot in the National Inventors Hall of Fame. Whatever the reason, Alexander had identified just how dangerous the elevators of the 19th century were. As they had to be opened manually, either by an operator or the passengers themselves, people were often at risk of plummeting down the shaft with horrific injury. Miles's design included a flexible belt attached to the elevator cage, with drums positioned on it to indicate if the elevator had reached a floor.
Peace, Kenneth Powell. Been a long time, brother. Peace. Salute to you. Thanks for tapping in.
When this occurred, the doors would automatically open. His elevator patent is still seen in modern designs, and the automatic opening and closing of elevator and elevator shaft doors have become a standard feature without Lonnie Johnson's invention. Johnson was an aerospace engineer for NASA who happened to invent the popular children's toy. In 1982, Air Force and NASA engineer Lonnie Johnson conceived of the idea of a pressurized water gun after shooting a powerful stream of water in his bathroom while performing experiments for a new, which resulted in Johnson shooting a stream of water across his bathroom into the tub, led directly to the development of the power drencher, the precursor to the super soaker. Number 92, tissue holder. Mary Beatrice Davidson Kenner, along with her sister, was a wizard of making your trip to the bathroom as pleasant as possible. They both invented a toilet tissue holder in the 1970s, which they share a patent on. This invention was created with the purpose of eliminating the problem of grasping the free end of a toilet paper roll, which happens when the free end of the paper is positioned tightly against the remainder of the roll. This invention helps by always keeping the toilet paper in an accessible position, making it more convenient to get a roll of paper right when you need it. Number 91, peanut butter. Generally, when people find is George Washington Carver. Perhaps most famously, Carver's inventions included the discovery of over 300 different uses for peanuts, such as making cooking oil, axle grease, and printer's ink. Carver was the first African-American student to...
See, they tried to give the credit for the invention of peanut butter to a Caucasian man by Dr. John Harvey Kellogg. He stole that patent from George Washington Carver.
Accepted to Iowa State and quickly became a campus leader and excelling in botany and horticulture. After finishing his education, George Washington Carver was convinced by Booker T. Washington to serve as the director of agriculture at the upstart Tuskegee Institute. Though the job offered very little in terms of pay, Carver took the position and ran with it. It was there he devised his method of crop rotation. Through the system, crops flourished, but a large surplus of peanuts also developed. This led George Washington Carver to develop alternate uses for the peanut. Today, everyone and their dog can thank George Washington Carver for the invention of peanut butter. Number 90, laser.
Let them tell it, it's Skippy and Jif that invented damn peanut butter, but it was George Washington Carver.
Faco. Imagine living in a world ranging from hazy, clouded vision to that of total darkness for 30 years. Before 1985, that was the plight of those with cataracts who did not want to risk surgery with a mechanical grinder. As a noted ophthalmologist and famous black inventor, Dr. Patricia Bath dedicated her life to the treatment and prevention of...
Salute my good brother T. Wriggles. Thanks for tapping in.
...visual impairments. Her personal belief that everyone has the right to sight led to her invention in 19... With the laser phaco probe and procedure, Dr. Bath increased the accuracy and results of cataract surgery, which had previously been performed manually with a mechanical grinder. With the laser phaco probe gears. Number 89, automatic gear shift. Richard Spikes was a well-known inventor whose automatic transmission for the car gears and other automotive-related inventions transformed the transportation industry. Spikes invented the gear shift drive up hills. In 1932, Spikes received a patent for an automatic gear shift device based on automatic transmission for automobiles and other motor vehicles. Number 88, dustpan. The first dustpan was invented in a United States patent pan we all recognize today. The African-American inventor made improvements to the dustpan by the addition of a short wooden handle and a collection plate made of metal, and this invention was patented in 1890 to collect trash without getting their hands dirty. Due to the convenience it provided, Ray's invention quickly became a household staple. Number 87, gold tee golf was totally a different sport before Dr. George Grant came along. Prior to the invention of the wooden tee at the turn of the 19th century, golfers made tees out of sand. Courses would supply each hole with a box of wet sand from which the golfer would fashion a raised mound using either.
I tell you, our people are incredible. Now, this is greatness, not just walking around saying we're great without displaying some greatness. Our people are absolutely great.
Either his hands or a cone-shaped mold. In 1899, Boston dentist Dr. George Grant, frustrated with this tedious and messy process, invented a wooden golf tee. However, it wasn't until William Lowell, another dentist, invented the ready tee in the early 1920s that using a wooden tee became.
Salute to my good brother P. Moses. Thanks for tapping in, family.
Common practice. Number 86, lawn sprinkler African-American inventor Joseph H. Smith improved upon the lawn sprinkler by patenting the first rotary head lawn sprinkler in 1897 that sprayed water in two directions. In 1898, he was granted a second patent for modifications and improvements to his original design. His invention eliminated the need to drag a hose over the lawn and reposition it periodically to ensure a relatively even watering of the lawn. Number 85, modern toilet. Thanks to Thomas Elkins, your bathroom breaks are as comfortable as ever. While Elkins didn't outright invent the modern toilet, his improvements to the chamber commode would inspire the mechanics of the modern toilet. His patented design came with several amenities, including a bureau, mirror, book rack, washstand, table, easy chair, and earth closet or chamber stool. Over the years, the toilet would go through several modifications to become the porcelain throne.
This brother invented the entire damn bathroom. All that mention things they just said, he invented the whole bathroom.
It is today. Number 84, ringing mop. In 1893, Thomas W. Stewart would devise an invention that would make cleaning less of a back-breaking labor. The ringing mop we know today was inspired by his invention, which provided a way to care for the slate, stone, or marble floors that were a feature of the homes of the aristocracy, and later the middle classes. Thanks to his invention of a clamping device that could wring water out of the mop by using a lever, floor cleaning was not nearly the chore it once was. Number 83, reversible stroller. Modern-day reversible strollers and baby carriages are the work of African-American inventor W.H. Richardson. Although the first baby carriage was invented in 1733 by William Kent for the Duke of Devonshire, its lavish design.
Either we invented or we improved on the invention. That's our people.
Made it harder for everyday individuals to have access to them. However, Richardson patented a new type of baby carriage on June 18, 1889, that was more efficient and affordable. The design featured wheels that could turn 360 degrees in a smaller turning radius. The bassinet was also designed so it could face out or in towards the parent. Over a century later, his invention is still a popular choice among parents. Number 82, biscuit cutter. By 1863, A.P. Ashbourne worked as a caterer.
I know some of these sellout Negroes love this invention. I know they love this one. You know, those fried chicken and biscuit eating sellout Negroes who sell their fellow brothers and sisters up the river for a little or nothing. I know they love the biscuit cutter.
Caterer, having amassed a respected following in Pennsylvania. He catered weddings and buffets of the wealthy elite in Philadelphia and was selected as one of a handful of local caterers for the 1863 Emancipation celebration held in the city. While attending this event, Ashbourne noticed that the biscuits were simply hand-patted and lacked any real form. He began a decade-long process to create a device, a spring-loaded biscuit cutter, that would guarantee a uniform shape and size. His patented cutter had a board to load and unload biscuits easily. At the time, his invention brought convenience and accuracy to the flour-based food product. Number 81, airplane propelling. While the Wright brothers designed and constructed the world's first practical fixed-pitch propeller, it was black inventors, among many others, that would improve the mechanics to be what it is today. In 1920, African-American inventor James Sloan Adams was granted a patent for a new and improved propelling means for airplanes, which utilized the stored-up energy of a spring to the fullest advantage for driving the airplane forward. This rounds up the part 1 of our series on the 100 black inventions that changed the world. From lawn sprinklers, home security systems, to traffic light signals, black individuals have continuously defied the odds and left an indelible mark on our world. It is time to celebrate their triumphs and acknowledge their countless inventions that have revolutionized our society. In the next part of this series, we will share even more audacious inventions, scientific breakthroughs, technological marvels, and groundbreaking discoveries done by black inventors. As always, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to our channel, and share our videos to let more people know the truth about blacks and to hear their own part of the narratives. Thanks for watching.
Now we're going to go to black inventors who changed the world. If it wasn't for these inventions,
black inventors have made
lot more
significant contributions across various fields throughout history. Here are some.
If it wasn't for some of these inventions, most of these inventions, our lives would probably be a lot harder. But these inventions are essential to our everyday lives. And thanks to our people, we didn't invent like things that's trinkets. Everything that we invent was out of necessity.
Some notable examples. Number 1. Madam C.J. Walker. She gained her fortune by developing and marketing her own line of cosmetics and hair care products for black women. Number 2. Garrett Morgan. He was an American businessman, inventor, and community leader. He is best known for his invention of the three-way traffic light and the protective smoke hood. Number 3. Alice H. Parker. She is best known for her patent filed for a gas furnace, which served as the basis for the development of modern heating systems in use today. Number 4. Frederick McKinley Jones. He developed the automatic refrigerator in the 1940s.
Now I want to go to one thing that we must rectify and get together and sort of change. When our people open businesses like organizations, what destroy these businesses and our organizations are the lack of cooperation and the lack of participation destroys our organizations. And it's the same with our businesses. We need to patronize our businesses. When a brother or sister open up a business, we should support those businesses. And also on the flip side, when a brother or sister open a business, open when you say you're going to open, because most of us would rather buy our essential items from you. But if you say you open at 8 o'clock, open at 8 o'clock, because we don't want to wait around, because we don't have to do that at other establishments. So open when you say you're going to open, and give us the right prices. And when you see your brother and sister walk into your establishment, treat them with respect. We skin and grin at other people, but we mean mug each other. We have to stop that to make our businesses, flourish. Peace to my brother, Epic Studies. Thanks for tapping in. We need to treat each other better. And we also need to support each other when we start businesses. Now, I'm going to go to why Black-owned businesses don't survive. It's also inequality why our businesses don't survive.
Since the coronavirus outbreak was
Businesses don't survive because and sometimes when we try to get our business in a certain location, we are not allowed to put our business in certain locations. When we go like this voting thing and this zoning thing that they do to us in our neighborhoods and in our communities, you want to open up a certain type of business, they try to give us a hard time, or they try to, discourage us by wanting to put us on a side street or want to put us in an area where our business is not noticed. That's one of the things that discourage us, and our businesses don't survive.
of businesses have been forced to shut their doors, some permanently. Entrepreneurs across America have had to face the uncertainty of the worst economic crisis in decades. While minority-owned businesses have been disproportionately affected, Black-owned businesses suffered the most. Problems surrounding the economic gap aren't new. African American-owned firms have historically struggled to get started and stay afloat. Getting approved for loans and receiving federal support can be nearly impossible for many. From 2007 to 2017, more than half of Black-owned companies got turned down for loans, a rate twice as high as white-owned businesses, according to the Federal Reserve.
But they'll try to tell others and suggest to us that we don't have businesses because of us, or they'll use the stereotypes that we're lazy and we don't work hard enough, when most of us work hard as hell, and most of us use our head and we're smart, and we want to open our own businesses. We go for those loans. They give us a hard time, but somebody else could come here from another country and get those same loans that we applied for, and they'll open up a business in our community. I mean, years ago, they had a Korean family, a breakfast spot, and Koreans was selling us our breakfast, cooking it our style, because they try to supply a demand to our people. They'll put what they know we like in our community, but it's not our people serving us. They do this on purpose, not give us those loans. Brothers and sisters with, pretty good credit scores still can't get the loan.
In the summer of 2020, the murder of George Floyd sparked a renewed interest in the economic advancement of Black people. Businesses owned by people across people poured out in support.
It was very bittersweet for me because almost immediately I saw a surge in sales during that time last summer. And so there was this part of me that
Peace to my brother, Big Dog Philly OG. Thanks for tapping in.
off of the heels of someone dying.
Whites and other minority groups. It can be difficult for any business to succeed, but Black entrepreneurs have historically faced unique challenges. Congress passed the Freedmen's Bureau Act in 1865. Awarding commitment to help freed slaves gain financial stability was rescinded. The legacy of slavery and Jim Crow left African Americans at a lasting economic disadvantage. Without equal footing, poverty continued to cycle through.
That the median level or the kind of 50th ranked white family in the US has $170,000 in their net worth. When you compare that to the average Black family in the US, what you see is that same, comparable Black family has $10,000. So these levels of inequality, you can see business ownership or business success is kind of at that high end where we see just enormous amounts of inequality, especially when we start looking at revenues or employment.
Long history of Black entrepreneurship. It also undermined efforts of African Americans to get ahead in the business world. Several exclusively Black communities were home to thriving businesses in the post-Reconstruction era. The Greenwood district of Tulsa, Oklahoma, became widely recognized as Black Wall Street, an affluent Black community ripe with.
And then with economic envy, that's what most case scenario happens when we do something and it flourish. Other people become envious of us and they set out to destroy what we, either what we invented or what we built. It's just been that way with us since the inception. People look at us, even if we work hard as hell to get something, some people still don't think that we deserve it when we work hard to get something.
With business June 1921, being bombed and burned to the ground by a white mob.
And what happened was just that Black businesses did not have the money after they were burned down to the ground, and in the system of oppression, as well as these notions of fear. And so you have this desire, of course, to rebuild, but with what resources? So it wasn't just individuals who were targeting businesses. You had the cops who refused to protect these businesses. You had the judicial system that refused to prosecute. And so it just really wasn't safe for African Americans to continue to be entrepreneurs in this climate.
The hope for Black wealth in America burned, stripping families of their opportunity to create generational wealth.
Having a family background in business is really important. So owner yourself than someone who doesn't have parents that are business owners. Now, if you go back, a generation or two generations, if you have low business ownership rates then it gets kind of passed along to future generations. And so that creates this kind of barrier that you don't have that family business experience.
Real estate is one of the most common ways to build wealth in America, but discriminatory housing practices have historically. The federal Housing Administration refused to insure homes in African American neighborhoods. This is known as redlining.
What would be the reaction of the community to a Negro family moving in?
Oh, I don't think they'd like it.
Black people were kept out of the newly developing suburban neighborhoods and pushed into urban housing. According to 2020 data from the Home Mortgage Disclosure Act, Black applicants are denied mortgage loans at a rate 80% higher than white applicants. These events laid the groundwork for the increasing wealth gap in America. It is still more difficult for African American entrepreneurs.
Like they did with the brother Javonta Tank Davis in Baltimore. He bought a whole block in Baltimore and was going to build some housing to supply homes for his people. And mysteriously, the whole block burnt down recently after he purchased that land and that property.
To get and stay in business. About 6.5 million businesses are launched in the United States each year. There are 6 different types of businesses to file under, each of ownership and finances. There are 99% of all businesses, but only a fraction of them survive. 20% of small-owned businesses fail by the first year. 30% year, a staggering 70% of businesses have shut off their lights.
Some of the most common challenges, though, that do precipitate a business closure relate to, fundamental issues, lacking a firm business plan and some of the fundamentals in place at the onset.
For minorities, the numbers can be even in the first 18 months. And despite making up 17.6 and 13.2% of the population, Hispanics and Blacks make up 5.8 and 2.1 of all employees. For reference, white.
You know what's crazy about that 13%? That 13% is so significant with how they try to diminish us and colonize us. They're still saying it's 13%. We're 13% in the nation, making it synonymous to what they try to do to us with the 13th Amendment. They say in the 13th Amendment that slavery is abolished except if you are convicted of a crime. And then they get free labor from you while you're incarcerated. They want to keep us at that number 13. And in supreme mathematics, 1 and 3 is culture freedom. Number 4, knowledge and understanding, being born to culture freedom. And they want to marry our culture to the jail culture. Which is crazy.
White to the Small Business Administration. Lack of capital is the biggest challenge for African American small business owners, and studies show that Black 19 survey by the New York Fed, fewer than 1 in 10 Black with 1 in 4 white-owned non-employer firms, and less than 47% of financing applications applications filed by African American business owners get approved. According to evidence from the survey, the discrepancies aren't due to Black entrepreneurs applying for financing at just as much as white-owned firms, if not more. 28% of Black-owned non-employer firms applied for financing in 2018, compared to 25% of white non-employers. The difference
It tend to be concentrated industries that require less startup costs and less capital.
To these people, our success is their failure. No matter how hard we work, we put our time and our efforts into what we're trying to build. But to some of these people, our success is their failure.
Intensive, but well on the ability to secure bank loans, lines of credit, because of course in those cases when you're an entrepreneur, you're starting out, what are you going to pledge? You're going to pledge your personal assets, whether it's your house or other type of collateral. And so if you're starting out where you're at a disadvantage there, that's going to create.
In the summer of 2020, a study by the National Community Reinvestment Coalition found a disparity in the way Black and white loan applicants were treated. The study highlights one example where a Black applicant was turned away for not having an account with the bank. That same bank to open an account and offer to send PPP information. Fear plays a part too. Federal Reserve data shows that 1 in 56% of those firms stating that they did not want to accrue debt, and 60% indicating that they felt like they would be turned down if they applied.
For a long period of time, didn't even try to go to bank lenders because I knew that on file, my application would have been in business for, 2 years at the time or whatever. My application wasn't strong. And so I'm sure that lots of entrepreneurs go through that as well.
COVID-19 has exacerbated some of the issues facing the Black community. Black Americans are dying at a rate of 3 times that of white Americans. In addition to having a disproportionate death rate, African American entrepreneurs have had to close their doors at more than twice the rate of their white counterparts. Black owners declined by 41% between February and April 2020.
And they were also targeting our businesses. They'll go and they'll lock up people in a barbershop because they didn't have on masks, but they'll go and see more people than was in the barbershop. Instead of locking them up and sending them home, the police gave them masks. So they were targeting our people and our businesses at a very trying time in the United States during the COVID-19 pandemic.
Many Black business owners are pessimistic about being able to survive. A CNBC survey in July 2020 showed that only about half under current conditions. And the numbers prove that another shutdown would disproportionately affect Black owners. 58% of small business owners say they remained open through stay-at-home orders. That is in part because Black entrepreneurs are overrepresented. According to a report from McKinsey & Company, 40% of revenues from Black-owned businesses are in the 5 most vulnerable sectors. That includes hospitality, retail, and food services. They also received less federal support support, including the rescue loans provided.
Big businesses over small businesses and the American workers that Congress intended to protect. The administration needs to refocus.
Some of my people, for some frozen of a reason, think that Donald Trump has something for us, tangible, something for our people. I'm going to keep saying it. Our situation, our problems are ours. And no president, left or right, is going to do anything for our people. But some of my people think that this man is going to do something for us. I don't understand it based on what I seen his first administration. And he hasn't been in the office a whole month yet, and it's total chaos. Total chaos. And I don't understand how, because this man is a criminal, that we relate to him. Some of our people, in their ignorance, relate to that fool.
The Paycheck Protection Program.
Highest concentration of Black-owned businesses, according to the New York Fed.
African American businesses disproportionately do not have those formal entrenched, as long as sustained. People will know sometimes their loan officer or in personally over many years. And so African American businesses and business owners guidance on how to process these applications, when to submit these applications, what do you need on these to make sure that your application makes it and is approved quickly. African Americans just didn't have that type of inside resources, and so they were just.
The killing of George Floyd by a white police officer in May 2020 renewed interest in supporting the economic advancement of African Americans. Spreadsheets and lists of Black business peak off. According to
Apple, an anti-racist society, for you not to support a Black-owned business means that you're part of the problem. And so therefore, to be part of the solution, you must be an intentional. I don't think it's okay. I support equity and equality, that you need to make an effort to support
Google searches for Black-owned businesses near me reached an all-time high between May 31st and June 10th. 75% of small Black business owners saw upticks in customers in the 2 months following Floyd's death.
We skyrocketed to open up our first brick and mortar location in September, which was just 1 month after everything had happened.
The good times didn't last. After the surge, sales at many Black-owned others have seen a lasting impact.
Now that I just constantly was on the edge of my seat was like, okay, well, when is this over? You know, when is this going to be a stint in time initiative or campaign? If this is going to be something that's...
It's hard to say exactly what the solution is. For decades, African Americans and big inequalities that still exist. More and more people are lending a hand. Magic Johnson teamed up with NBE Capital Partners to offer PPP.
You can have a relationship, always keep your doors open. And that's what we want to do, make sure that minority-owned firms, women-owned firms can stay open.
In June 2020, Court Black-owned business and in December of 2020, the kinds of other grants and resources for Black small business owners, like the Black Business Association, National Minority Business Council, and the U.S. Black Chambers, to name a few.
One of the way. Now, I don't want to be crude about it or all the things. Also, that large bank, America, Wells Fargo, need to again be more intentional.
I think businesses, not corporations, if everyone did their part, you know, it would allow the whole to become great together. And so, you know, some things could be grants, grant opportunities. Grants, you know, what the focus.
To move on to Black businesses owners, address inequality. Again, when we go...
This is Black History Month, and we're celebrating the achievements of Black Americans, but also...
When we go for these loans, some type of loophole, get loans when we go for these loans. And we have to address these inequalities.
Outbreak was declared a pandemic.
Pardon me a second.
Hundreds of thousands of businesses have been forced to shut.
I don't know why this went back to that, but which is most case scenario when we go for loans. But they assert their own banks. This is what happens when we don't have our own banks. We have to have our own banks. That way, we can go and get owned by one of our brothers and one of our sisters, and we can get these loans. But we can't. Again, I'm going to when other people open up businesses, we can't get angry with them because they don't employ our people. Who are they supposed to employ besides their own people? So when we open our businesses, we're supposed to employ our people. Everybody else is doing it, but we need to get on code and look out for each other like everybody else do. Now we at this point where everybody is expecting us to be their heroes. Once again, a lot of these people are experiencing, deportations, and they're looking for us to help them and stand between them and what's happening with them. And we gotta delineate. We can't be everybody heroes. We gotta, pull we pulling ourselves up by our bootstraps, and we can't be fighting other people's battles. While we're the main ones in the damn trenches.
Welcome back. It's just about a quarter till achievements of Black Americans, but also examining the struggles, including
took matters into a leap of faith. Newly divorced, a single bucket and decided to fill it.
Naturally, a line dedicated to creating time-saving beauty solutions for busy women.
She launched Naturalicious in 2013, now with 11 employees and a 5,000 square foot warehouse. Retailers including Whole Foods, Sally Beauty, and Ulta.com.
Despite only having $32 and trying to figure out how
To my good brother Dre Cobb's music. Thanks for tapping in, good brother. Let me present this content. They keep kicking me out. I don't know why. I'm gonna get on the phone with StreamYard when I'm done with this. Do some cussing.
Economic inequality.
Elise Preston introduces us to a businesswoman who took matters into her own hands.
Gwen Jameer started her hair care company from her Detroit kitchen with a leap of faith. Newly divorced, a single mother with just $32 in the bank, she saw a hole in the market and decided to fill it.
Naturalicious basically is a line dedicated to creating time-saving beauty solutions for busy women.
She launched Naturalicious in 2013. Now, with 11 employees and a 5,000 square foot warehouse, her products sell at major retailers including Whole Foods, Sally Beauty, and Ulta.com.
I'm so proud that I just had the tenacity to just keep going despite only having $32 and trying to figure out how in the world do I pay my bills.
Economists believe what Jameer has achieved could be a key to addressing economic inequality in the U.S.
We're kind of the richest economy per capita in the world, and we still have these huge levels of inequality where a lot of people are extremely poor. Well, that's just not acceptable.
Robert Fairley is a professor at UC Santa Cruz. His research shows there are more than 15 million active business owners in the U.S., but fewer than 1.5 million are Black. Economists say entrepreneurship is critical in creating wealth and supporting communities.
It reduces unemployment locally, often in minority communities, and that's extremely important.
Jameer is now helping her community while also creating financial security for 11-year-old Caden.
In the back of my mind, I always knew, like, okay, when he turns 5, 10, 20, 35, 50 years old, I want him to have this story, and I want that to be an example for him.
Elise Preston, CBS News, New York.
I want to go to empowering Black businesses ownership in Knoxville. I tell you, those winds out there that's probably what's messing with my stream this evening because we got some serious winds outside. Been doing that since yesterday afternoon.
Established in the mid-1990s, the 100 Black Men of Knoxville works to improve the lives of African American young people in the city. They use a 4-part strategy, including mentoring, health and wellness, education, and economic development. According to the 100, their mission to empower African Americans to individually and collectively reach in the mid-1990s, the 100 Black Men of Knoxville works to improve the lives of African American young people in the city. They use a 4-part strategy, including mentoring, health and wellness, education, and economic development. According to the 100, their mission is to empower African Americans to individually and collectively reach.
Saying something yesterday that right in. It's a whole bunch of brothers, brother police officers, instead of looking at their young
achievement in education, community, and economic empowerment.
This is the last video of the You're not going to allow me to continue this stream. This is the last video anyway. I'm experiencing a lot of like wind gusts, and I guess it's slowing the stream down. Even with a extra router, it's not allowing me to do it. So this is the last video of the stream. I hope my brothers and sisters of Black inventors and inventions and empowering ourselves as business owners.
Vast variety of occupations that they do. So we bring them in so they can see different people. We have teachers, we have people that work at Y12, engineers. We have all types of different folks that come in and work with these young men. We believe at the 100 that what they see is what they will be.
Well, small companies, that's those with 500 or fewer employees, make up 99% of businesses here in Tennessee. But only about 12% of them actually have Black owners. A local organization empowers Black entrepreneurs by giving them the resources they need to thrive, both today and for future generations.
Sometimes the person delivering your groceries, medicine, or pet food becomes a little more.
I've had situations where I've become best friends, with the elderly lady next door, basically.
Basically, Pat Bardsley says he's in the business of building relationships and lending a hand.
I'm the founder of Gateway Delivery.
But it's not all that basic. 6 years ago, he founded Knoxville's only locally owned delivery service, transporting thousands of items to people across East Tennessee.
We couldn't operate without what Patrick provides for us.
At Lick Skillet Farm in Jefferson County, partnerships like these are essential for survival.
Instead of selling commodity into big agri industry, we have to work locally with customers that really value the local product that we produce.
This direct-to-consumer business model is where Gateway Delivery steps in.
It's wonderful that we've got a local supply chain. Thank goodness we got organizations like 100 Knoxville that understand the importance of local business. business and develop businesses like Patrick.
100 Knoxville, a local organization dedicated to supporting Black-owned businesses, helped Pat's company flourish.
That's really a big thing when you think about it, because the disadvantaged are called that for a reason. So we have to, find ways to, bring people, who don't normally have the resources to grow, into a situation where they can absolutely do that.
The goal at 100 Knoxville is to grow Black-owned businesses in Knoxville by $10 million in 5 years, supporting entrepreneurs like Pat and in turn helping the local economy.
It's a very special thing being a Black entrepreneur facing the struggles that we are presented with, that most people are aware of, because we're able to be trailblazers at this point in time. So with Gateway Delivery, I definitely have aspirations to take it to the next level, to become the Knoxville of Amazon, to employ hundreds of people at one point in time for sure, to partner with hundreds of businesses, to assist thousands of families and individuals.
It's a business he says will continue to break barriers, all the while taking what he's learned and passing it on to the next generation of Black businesses.
Absolutely. Yeah, I dream of being an investor in the city, a role model. Yeah, I have.
Black entrepreneurs grow with it.
I want to thank everyone for joining me. This has been a difficult stream. StreamYard kicked me out several, but I got through it, and I thank you all for hanging out with me for a little bit as I went over Black history, Black American inventors and inventions, and our businesses. We need to support Black businesses and support each other. When we see our brothers and our sisters supplying a demand for our people, we should support them. We should patronize their business. We should make sure that our money stay in our community instead of going to other people's community, because other people will come here and they'll start businesses and they'll take our money to their community, connect us, and don't care about the fact that we are sufficing them and their families. So that's where I'm at on that. I hope everyone enjoyed this stream. Thanks to Big Dog Philly OG, my brother Dre Cobbs, P. Moses, Epic Studies, Milestone Thoughts, T. Wriggles, Henry and King Bloodline, Bronze Flat Power God. Who else we got here? Kenneth Powell. Thank you all for joining me this evening. Of course, thank my wife. I'm sure she's watching. She's always watching. Thanks to my wife for watching. And while we're at it, we're going to do a quick promo. If you haven't purchased your book, Fire, F-Y-R-E, go to Amazon, go to books, click on books, Angela King James, F-Y-R-E, Fire. Get your book, your copy of Fire. Fire 2 will be coming soon.
Get your copy of Fire. It's definitely a must-read. If you enjoy hood books, this one is it. Just like the title of the book, it's officially Fire. Get it on Amazon, paperback or Kindle.
Until next time, this is the Enemy's Public, and I am Brother Nasir. Like, share, subscribe, leave a comment in the comment section. Peace.
what this world is coming to.
Yeah, hey yo, I'm highly motivated. I failed my indoctrination. We killing each other, that's the real self-hatred. Find out what you're chasing. Is it the money or the cops trying to take my soul from me? I'm cut from a certain cloth, I don't cop, please. I just bring the light to the unseen. Black people unite, we should all be one regime. Plotting against the system, planning a scheme. They took our American dream. You put your fist in the air, they call you extreme. I do the knowledge, you can call me supreme. It runs through my bloodstream. And nowadays, niggas a shooter for funeral. Like damn, that's what being a savage do to you? You dumb fools? Come on, man. You killed once, now you gotta kill again? That shit make me sick to my ribs. You niggas with no aim out here killing these kids, and forever they memories live. It's like our brothers and sisters that's killed by the pigs. It's the game of life, and this shit is just rigged. Yeah, it's the game of life. Now let that sit in your wig. We should be looking out for one another, but we move around in deep cover. It's time to rediscover the love we got for each other. I wanna see my people make millions, visions of black brilliance. Watch for the ones with scales like they reptilians, cause the power was always in my people. You can protest peaceful until you see Breonna Taylor the sequel. Come on, man. Y'all know what it is, man. It's your boy, Drake Cobbs, man. Bringing you the enemy's public, man. By the people, for the people. Let's go. The enemy's public, let's go, man. We here.